if you are kind, you are more likely to get stepped on by other people. But if you're not kind, then internally you're looking at yourself as an asshole.
Yeah.
And who knows, on your deathbed, you might look back and have immense regret if you do live a life like that. But yeah, it's interesting because it's hard to be a good person, and it's hard to take that road where you're caring about other people and choosing a career based on that.
Yes.
But in the long run, I think you'll look back at your life and be like, I was a good person. I did the right things the best I could. And I mean, what more could you ask for when you're looking back at your life?
No, yeah, dude. Like that's so true. I mean, I'm so scared of that, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I'm scared of like getting to a point where I have all these regrets about what I didn't do. I think the best thing I've learned in college was learning who I was and, learning what matters to me. And dude, that's just continuing to develop myself and pour into myself. Like, I see myself as a plant, you know what I mean? The more I nurture myself, the more I put myself out there into the sunlight, into the world, I grow and I continue.
For sure. Did you have that mindset going into college? Like day one, did you kind of have that plant mentality, or did that change over time?
No, it's changed over time, bro. I mean, coming into college, I was an overachiever. In high school, I mean, I got straight A's. I never had one B in high school.
Damn.
Um, and my goal was to get into college, get good grades, and get a high paying job, so I could be completely done with school. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
That was my ambition coming into college. I'm a first gen. My parents never been to college. Um, I have no family that I know of who've been to a 4-year university, especially like a top one like WashU. So all of this was relatively new to me coming in, and like I say, I was very tunnel vision. Like my
Hmm.
goal was to just finish and coast through like I did in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But of course, like that's you know you I got humbled really quick in that aspect, just because like I kind of deviated from a lot of different goals that I had. Like at first, I came in as engineering, wanted to be an engineer. Um, then I switched. Thought I wanted to do business. Realized I didn't want to do business. So it's just like a lot of different like hurdles that I had to jump through before I really just found, you know, what I wanted to do, which is like,
Right.
helping people
Hmm.
in the grand scheme of things. Um, but no,
When
yeah,
do you
it's
think you
changed.
had that realization? Because it sounds like in high school you were very motivated by external things, just
Mhm.
kind of getting the grades in, getting everything finished, and landing that high-paying job. But now it's more so a little bit more balanced, where obviously you care about the payments you're getting from the job, but also just helping people. When do you think that change happened? Like where you went from caring about external things to more more about helping others?
Yeah. I think I've always known it, but deep side, something deep inside, you know what I mean? Like I was getting a constant dopamine hit from getting a good grade report back, or,
Yeah.
you know, hearing from friends or family, like, damn, you're smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that constant just validation made me feel good. Um, and that drove my motivation towards like having like that tunnel vision, like a wanting to, just get the best, highest grades possible and
Mhm.
just be like this exemplary student, because no one else I know is like that. So let me differentiate myself. So that was kind of like a thing that I always had, in terms of like wanting to care for people. I'm a very empathetic person. You know what I mean? Like I often put people before I put myself, and sometimes it's a bad thing. Um, but since I was a kid, I mean, like, dude, like if shit, like if it was the last slice of pizza, I would give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
that's the type of person I was, and it made me feel good being able to do that. I mean, some people, and this is not to talk down on nobody, but some people, um, they have to, try to give, and
Right.
It's
For
kind of,
sure.
it's more of a task, it's more of a chore. But for me, it's something that I developed. I mean, I haven't developed. It's just something that I was kind of like innately. Um,
Definitely.
but when I tapped into that closer, it was probably the end of my sophomore year. Um, Realized I wasn't really happy where I was. Like I've tried all these different career paths, and I didn't know what worked. Like at this point, I tried engineering, didn't work out. I tried pre-law, didn't work out. Tried business, it didn't work out. Um, and I was kind of questioning like what was I doing here at WashU? You know what I mean? Like I was a little bit in a place where like I'm here, but I'm not, living up to my purpose. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like I feel like at that point I was really depressed. Um, I was like I was in this toxic relationship. I was 155 pounds. It's like I had a lot of stuff going on back at home that was really affecting me. Um, I had a problem with marijuana, all types of stuff. So like I was in a very bad place my sophomore year, and dog, it took me a moment to kind of like break down myself and figure out who the fuck I am. I got to get back to the basics.
Yeah. So it was kind of like a rock bottom moment
Yeah,
where you just
no,
bounced.
dude, I hit rock spring 2023. I hit rock bottom,
And
hands
what do you
down.
think kind of shifted in your mindset? Because it's very easy to just kind of sit in rock bottom. And I feel
Yeah,
like a lot of people do just sit there. Why do you think that you didn't? Why do you think that you did end up bouncing back?
I took action, bro. At the end of my sophomore year, um, I was doing a ton of research into like what makes a person what I'm saying, like find their path. Like what motivators do you take to find like what it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up stumbling upon dentistry because the way I saw it was like, oh yeah, I get to be a doctor. I'm helping people, I'm making a lot of money, and I also get work-life balance, which is also important to me.
For sure.
um, so I started shadowing at this dental clinic this summer of my sophomore year, and it was cool, bro, because like I got to see a lot of different things. A lot of, what I'm saying, I saw a cancer patient come in one time, and it was cool, interesting learning his life story. Um, I worked with older people who are like 65 and up. You know what I mean? Like I've had to kind of calm them down while they were in the chair. It's just stuff like that that really made me feel good because like I made a difference in that person's appointment,
For sure.
and that person was able to get the care that they need because they feel more comfortable. Like
Yeah.
I once had a lady tell me like I have comforting guys. I mean,
Yeah.
she says it's like in a minute. I mean, like before she's about to get like the local anesthesia in her mouth, and it's like that made me feel really good. But it
Mm-hmm.
also just like I realized too, like I love being with people in their times of need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, and I did that all summer. Um, However, I mean, dentistry was like more of a exploration point for me, and also feel like it was a checkpoint.
Mm.
Like it kind of proved to me, like, yeah, I care more about working with people than I do working behind a computer.
For
I
sure.
care about standing on my feet. I care about moving around more than I care about sitting sedentary in a desk. You know what I mean? So after I learned those things, bro, like you know, um, I didn't end up sticking with dentistry, by the way, just because there were so many things that you had to kind of do like requirement wise that
Mm-hmm.
in college. I mean, dude, like I said, I've tried so much. I mean, me starting trying to do dentistry would have
For sure.
extended my college years here, and I didn't really want to do that. Financially, it wasn't feasible. And I would also have to do like post back programs, which also again wasn't financial. I'm not making excuses, but I realized it just wasn't for me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Like
And
you knew that you wanted to help people,
yeah,
and
yeah,
dentistry you could help people, but it's also a lot of extra steps to get to that point.
absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I think dentistry just fell under the umbrella
For
of the
sure.
things that you know involves helping people
Yeah.
and being
Totally.
and like I say, and being on the front lines where people are actually going through pain in
Yeah.
an instance.
And it's
So
just those little things that you mentioned that really stood out to me, like just being comforting to someone before a stressful time, and just those little things like being kind to someone before they even check in for the appointment, like that really can make someone's day.
yeah, yeah,
And you said another thing that was really interesting, just like you're very empathetic, you've always been an empathetic person, and sometimes it's a bad thing, and people always tell me that all the time as well, just like, and I've noticed this, I feel like if you're an empathetic person or you're just kind, people kind of look at that as it's like a weakness, like it's a
hmm
weakness to be kind or it's a weakness to be overly trusting.
hmm
And to me, I think it's the complete opposite, where because it takes so much courage to be a good person and so much courage to be trusting. Um, and I don't think that is a weakness. What would you say about that?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I don't think it's a weakness. I mean, I think it's one of my strongest traits
Hmm.
because, like I say, it's giving me like it's informing me a lot of the kind of person that I am, the kind of person I still want to be, and type of people I want to be around. However, when I say a weakness, um, you know, I have more life in front of me than I have behind me, but like I've experienced a lot of just situations where people were just flat out, I'm saying, rude or just flat out I don't know, where it took a lot of me
Hmm.
to really hold myself together. You know what I mean? I've been tested,
Yeah.
and you know, like coming into also coming into fraternity culture, I was the nice, almost like the nice guy. You know what I'm saying? And uh, that was kind of like a bit of an adjustment for me because I wasn't used to being. I'm not saying everybody in fraternity are assholes, but like it's like you kind of gotta have like that asshole
Yeah.
backing to kind of
Yeah.
like thrive in that type of environment with the type
For
of people.
sure.
You feel what I'm saying? So like, um, yeah. So like, so even just being around people like not say like whom I've developed great friendships with, but it was just like, um, it seemed like when they were assholes, they got their way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know what I'm saying, like I've been patient, I've been kind, you know what I'm saying? It's been times where I've just been like really passive and laid back and dog, like my results came twice as slow as someone who was
Yeah.
more of a dick. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
that's what I mean by sometimes it can be a weakness. Cause like when
For
people
sure.
think that they can get over on you, they're too you know what I'm saying, you're too kind and you're
Hmm.
too, just easy going, people who use that to like their
Yeah.
advantage.
They could take advantage of your kindness.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I think though, like long term, I think, and you're totally right, bro. Like people who are dicks, they tend to kind of get what they want, and maybe the girl goes for the asshole instead of the nice guy. That kind of is a
Dude, I mean
stereotype.
that's even portrayed like on social media. You know what I'm
Yeah, for
saying?
sure.
Like you got, and this is this is mainly just concentrated in certain areas, but I don't want to get too deep into it because it's more of a rabbit hole than anything. But
Hmm.
you got people posting things like, yeah, if you're not this type of guy, you're not a man, and
It's stupid.
it's just stupid. Yeah,
I agree.
and people who spend shit, vast majority of us, I mean, me myself included, I spend a lot of time on social media. You know what I mean? Even just to connect with people, my family or my friends, or what I'm saying, update people what's going on in my life. I see a lot of just flawed reasoning in what
Definitely.
makes a person a man or what makes you how you gonna make it in society.
For sure. Yeah. I think, because I think you're totally right. Just like people with who are meaner or just not as kind can kind of get their way more likely. But at the same time, like long term, if you're an asshole to someone, like you feel that internally, like you're kind of observing yourself treat someone like that. And I think long term, over and over and over again, if you do that for 10 years, it'll just erode away at, your own image of yourself more so than how it'll impact other people.
Yeah. No, I agree, bro. I mean, one thing I've learned, man, like, I mean, since a kid, I was like the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Like I be one. It hurts me when I get disrespected because I don't like, for the most part I try not to disrespect people. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, so I mean I've always grew up under that rule. Like, yeah, you just treat people how you want to be treated, and things will work out for you in the long run. But of course, what I'm saying, we live in an imperfect world, and it's, as you can see through like the media and stuff like that, it's getting even worse.
Yeah,
But it hurts when you get treated a certain way, and then it kind of almost primes you to want to be like a certain way towards people in general, because it's just like so you got your guard up more because it's just like
definitely.
when I was kind, I was getting stepped on, but when I was what I'm saying, like when I
Yeah,
was, so I don't know, it's I feel like it's a kind of a double edged sword, you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
But like definitely like what you said, it rolls at you, and how you treat other people
Yeah,
is ultimately, I feel like that's ultimately, that says a lot about your character.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's where courage comes in too, because like I think you're exactly right. Like if you are kind, you are more likely to get stepped on by other people. But if you're not kind, then internally you're looking at yourself as an asshole.
Yeah.
And who knows, on your deathbed, you might look back and have immense regret if you do live a life like that. But yeah, it's interesting because it's hard to be a good person, and it's hard to take that road where you're caring about other people and choosing a career based on that.
Yeah.
But in the long run, I think you'll look back at your life and be like, I was a good person. I did the right things the best I could. And I mean, what more could you ask for when you're looking back at your life?
No, yeah, dude. Like that's so true. I mean, I'm so scared of that, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, I'm scared of like getting to a point where I have all these regrets about what I didn't do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I mentioned this on the record, but like, bro, like I'm about to be a firefighter. Like, that's what I want to do. I mean, bro, like I've been wanting to do that, since first of all, since I was, I mean, I feel like every boy, every kid wants to be like a
of
firefighter,
course. Yeah,
police
of
officer.
course.
So I mean, yeah, I can say yeah, but it's like, but I kind of lost track of that, as I got through college. 'Cause it was just like more, like I said, college was more of just like a way for me to get the highest paying job,
Mm-hmm.
and that was where the overachiever mindset had came in when I was, beginning. But bro, like, dog, like the firefighting career, bro, that kind of embodies everything that I care about. Empathy, helping people in their worst times of need, staying fit, physically fit, bro. Like, fitness changed my life. I told you, like, last year when I hit rock bottom, I was 155. Dude, like that summer, dude, I was eating 3 times a day, drinking water, taking creatine. I was working out probably like 6 days a week all summer long, bro. I was going to work and I was working out. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the only thing that made me feel like a person at the time. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Just in the mindset that I was in. So, bro, like that changed my life because I came back the following year. I mean, the following semester, I was getting steroid accusations. So that shit made me feel good. But anyway, dog, like, yeah, fitness. Um, Actually being paid to continue to learn. Like, you're being, like, you know what I'm saying, you're like, you're continuing to learn, as you know what I'm saying. It's a job that where you don't know everything because anything can happen. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You're
100%.
working in a team. The work life balance is amazing. You know what I mean? Do your research. That's just something that I feel like would over, and it's hard. And I feel like that will keep making me a better person. You know what I mean? And dude, like I was so worried about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was so worried about what people here specifically would think, just because you got a lot of people that want to be investment bankers, doctors, lawyers, whatever. I mean, all power to you. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of people who look down on people who want to do certain things just because of how much it pays, or
Totally.
what it what the benefits are, or whatever.
Yeah.
And dog, like that's one thing I struggle with here at the school. I feel like that's what also made me like change around so much was too, because like I was so worried about what other people would think.
And that's the hardest thing in the
Dude, I
world.
had to free myself from that shit, dog. Like, though,
Yeah.
that shit was hard. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I tell you, bro, like, dude, I I actually started thinking about the firefighting career last semester in November, no, October, and I was in the gym training for my CPAT, which is like the candidate physical ability test. And someone, I'm not gonna say his name, but someone saw me in the gym working out, and he was basically asking me what I was doing, and I told him like, yeah, because I was doing like a specific workout for the test, and he asked me what I was doing. I told him like, yeah, bro, I'm doing this the CPAT workout to become a firefighter. And he's like, oh, you want to be a firefighter? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, bro, don't do that.
So dumb.
Go be a dentist. Go chase the bag.
Yeah.
Because that's what he knew before. Like, yeah, I want to be a dentist. But he's like, yeah, bro, go be a dentist. Go chase the bag. Don't do that. You know what I mean? And dude, like, I actually let that get to me. Because, like, bro, I never took my CPAT that year. And dog, like, it took 3 months for me to get back to get back into my own mindset and be like, oh, I gotta do the fuck I gotta do for me, bro. Fuck
Yeah.
people's opinions.
Yeah, dude, it's so hard to get out of that though.
Dude, it's
Like,
so hard.
it's
So hard.
almost impossible. And I felt that for the longest time with sales too. People just give me the weirdest look if I told them that I wanted to get into sales. And it's just because everyone has that cookie cutter vision of like what you're supposed to do in college and after college. But I don't know, man. I've always worried about following the crowd because I mean, you look at the numbers, most people are unhappy with their
Yeah.
career that they choose. And I think, especially when you're young, if you choose something only for money and just not the personal development or the other intangibles like doing a career because you like helping people, I think long term, if you only choose the money, it's a very risky game to play.
Yeah. I mean, and dog, like one thing I will say too is like if your motivation is purely money, because there's some people who can turn that mindset on where it's just money and their job is just a source of money for them. It's not necessarily like something that they find themselves connected to, and they're happy like that. And I, you know what I'm saying, I respect that. You know what I mean? But what I have a problem with is when people blatantly, try to, I guess, like infringe their opinion
Yeah.
on what you want to do. Like, why does it matter to you? Like, what I eat doesn't make you shit, right?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, I don't know, for a person to tell me like blatantly, like, yeah, don't do that, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Why do you think people do that when they basically put their own opinions on like how to live an ideal life on other people?
Dude, like I think it's just I honestly think it's like a projection.
Yeah.
Probably that's how they grew up their whole life. You know what I mean? Like seeing like a specific path and having that being pushed onto them at a young age, whether that be a doctor or whatever. Some people do it because they actually want to do it, and I think those are the people that should be going into the career. Um, but yeah, that projection, and a lot of times, bro, they're not talking to you. They're
Yeah.
talking to you, they're talking to themselves, bro,
Yeah.
and it's just they're just speaking out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, and I hadn't learned that. Like I said, I hadn't learned that earlier on because, like I say, I was taking people's opinions for law, which was terrible. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, someone had an opinion, it would affect me. Like and it was just like opinions are like assholes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got one. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everyone got opinions, bro. And it's just like I don't know, man. It's like I had to really learn, like, bro, like opinions don't count, bro. It's about what you want to do at the end of the day, man.
For
Because like
sure.
I say, you can't take nothing with you. No matter how
Yeah.
much money you make $1 million a year, you can't take it with you when you die.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I kind of just had to really learn, bro. Like if I'm truly gonna be happy, because that's what I'm in pursuit of, is being happy. You know what I mean? Like I got to do what's best for me at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like
Couldn't
if
agree more.
you live your life vicariously through other people, you will never be happy.
No.
Never.
Yeah. And you're always chasing at that point.
Yeah.
And you're always putting your opinions on other people. You're always projecting, like you said, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most important things I've learned. Just when someone is kind of like subtly giving you shit or being passive aggressive, 9 out of 10 times it's because they're talking to themselves
Yeah.
and they're not fully confident in their own paths. And I would say it's because they're listening to other people's,
Yeah.
ideal vision of what they should do,
Yeah.
whether that's parents or friends, or just everyone around us in school is doing similar things, it feels like at times. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an overwhelming thing. And it's very hard to get over. So it's very impressive that you were able to make that decision for yourself, even if it took a few months.
No, no. I mean, dude. I mean, I would say arguably it took me years. You know what I mean? I mean, it took me a few months to kind of like. I mean, because like when I made the decision, I made it back in October, and I started training for it. And like I said, I had that one encounter, and it just made me get all deep in my head and shit. You know what I mean? But dude, like, it's been a long time coming, bro. And I'm glad I'm learning this now.
Yeah.
Like at 22, I'm glad I'm learning this. Like at this age, because like some people still 30s, 40s, 50s still live their lives according to a standard, like a predetermined standard set,
Yeah.
and that may not even exist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Dude, I think that's what causes midlife crisis.
Yeah,
When people wake up one day at 50 years old, realize not once in their life did they actually do what they wanted to do.
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
goddamn, would that hurt to find out at 50 versus, 21, 22.
Yeah, no, like I used to listen to this podcast every day called The Mindset Mentor by Rob Dow. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Shout out Rob Dow. No, but bro, I liked his podcast because he talked about a lot of real shit. I mean, he talked about like about happiness and how this guy was on his deathbed and he basically just like was asked like, what's his last wish, and his wish was basically like, well, I wish I just hadn't lived my life according to what other people thought.
Damn.
And dude, that was so depressing to hear.
Yeah,
That was
bro.
just so depressing to hear because that's real, bro. People actually go
Mhm.
through that shit, man. And like,
Yeah.
not to, I mean, dog, like, I couldn't imagine that shit. That would fuck me up,
Dude,
bro.
that's hell. I actually can't
Hell on
envision
earth.
a worse fate than that.
Yeah, dude.
How do you think you avoid that? Is it just being mindful of like staying true to yourself, realizing, yeah, I do like helping other people. I am an empathetic person. How do you realize if you're actually on the right path
Uh-huh.
versus if you're on someone else's path and you don't even realize it?
Your body will tell you. I think. Um, I feel like since I got into like fitness and stuff like that, which is a little bit, I mean, it's helped me to like really like learn my body, learn
Mm-hmm.
what hurts, what doesn't hurt, what you know, what I'm saying, what feel good, what doesn't. And in general, bro, I think it's like your body will tell you, bro, like, you know, like what purpose are you getting out of this work? You know what I mean? Like, dude, I
For
was
sure.
taking, you know what I'm saying? Like I was taking all these courses in college. And one thing I noticed, bro, I get fatigued with them really easily. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, it's not that I couldn't do it. I mean, like, I've always been an academically capable person. It's just that, you know, fuck, bro. Like, why am I learning about? What am I fucking learning about? I don't know, whatever.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Bullshit. That's
Purposeless
what it
shit.
seemed like. Bullshit. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I'm like, dog, like everything just feel like a drag.
Yeah.
It's like this ain't, you know what I mean? And then it's like you'll kind of question yourself too, like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck? Like literally, what am I
Yeah.
doing? What if I do it,
100%.
fam? And then like, and dog, like, and when your body tells you that, you know what I'm saying? You'll feel tired. You know what I mean? And then also, bro, like the work just becomes work. That's what it becomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every step of anything is easy. Anything worth having is easy, right? Because I mean, dog, when I found out like I really wanted to be a firefighter, it was still hard. Like going outside and run every day is hard. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
working out and doing like hit exercises is hard. But at the same time, like what's driving me to do that constantly is my motivation.
Mm.
It's my motivation and my desire to want to do it. Even my
Yeah.
motivation runs low, my desire to want to continue, want to push through, want to get to that goal, it allows me
Yeah.
to follow through with it.
Because there's a purpose attached to
It's
it.
a purpose attached
When
to it.
you're working hard and there's a purpose behind it, it doesn't really feel like a drag, and you
Yeah,
don't feel that tiredness and that anxiety as much. It's more exciting when you're working towards a goal
yeah,
that actually has purpose behind it. And bro, what you said about like your body telling you, I couldn't agree more. But like, and people always think this is weird, but like when I know something is wrong, if I'm on the wrong path, like, I actually feel it in my stomach,
yeah, yeah.
like the
No,
gut
your
feeling.
body tells you, yeah.
Yeah,
Like what are you doing? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But you can never really explain it in words, like when it's happening in the moment. It just something feels off, and that's kind of my indicator. Like, bro, just like go in your room and think for an hour, and just
Mm,
like let this figure itself out. Because yeah, bro, your body knows. Your
yeah,
body definitely knows. So I think this could be a good last question to wrap up on.
sure.
Just the idea of like work with a purpose, and that's what makes like because if you got a meaningful goal, you're gonna have to fucking work your ass off for it. That's
Yeah,
guaranteed.
yeah.
But more generally, like what do you think your purpose in life is? Like big picture.
Big picture. That's a good question. I think my purpose in life is to just give where I can, love where I can, and overall just be put good into the world. I'm not no saint by any means. I don't claim to be like this overly righteous person, but I know it brings me joy in life, and that's seeing my, you know, seeing my actions benefit other people in a way that is profound. You know what I mean? Um, and I want to continue to push that narrative in my life, and hopefully in my children's life, if I, you know what I'm saying, if I decide to have any. Um, and dude, bro, like I think my purpose on this earth is to just live in that truth. You know what I mean? And I mean, accept that I am who I am. You know what I mean? And trying to deviate from that is it's borderline. You know, it's insane.
Yeah,
So
I love it,
yeah,
brother. Well, thank you for doing this, man. That was a
of course, man.
fantastic conversation.
Of course, man.